Hi guys, welcome to Mark Bajerski YouTube channel. What a beautiful day it is today. Glorious, the sun is shining, the weather is sweet. A butterfly makes you want to move your dancing feet. When I was in Germany, I saw over 30 eagles above me. It was the most interesting journey in my life, and going there, the music in the car was playing and all the songs were related to the journey of Moldavite. It was just out of this world. But first of all, I'd like to say thank you to a dear lady, I believe, who sent me this. She'd gone out of her way for my birthday to take all of these photos, presumably from the website, and write a beautiful note, and it says, "I wish you a happy birthday, Mark. May those trolls forever away from you." I don't think so. I think trolls are there for life. I think that's what makes us who we are. And I think when you measure yourself to trolls, I think it kind of really gives you the measuring stick to know that you're making an impact in the world and a difference. So I find that part of trolling interesting, and as long as it isn't personal, I think I don't mind trolls. I don't care really. But this is a great thing. Look at the work. Look, angel. That was me when I used to be the horse healer, the official horse healer for the Brugman group. That was a beautiful time. Let's go through it, shall we? Come closer. Look, so that was me in white, being baptized. No, I'm only kidding. I was doing some photo work with some amazing crystals here. That was great. That was by the sea. That was when my book came out, Diary of an Accidental Psychic. That was the book that came out called From My Heart to Yours. That was me juggling, this is really clever, that was me juggling some oranges. So you must have, whoever you are, beautiful soul, you must have enjoyed the juggling. That's Hold That Thought, the book that came out a while ago. That's one of my favourite books because it was one of my first heart-touching ones. These are my handmade dream catchers with crystals inside them. They're amazing. Obviously, she likes the mala beads with the oil. This was my first set of angel cards I ever produced. and even till this day, everybody who purchases a product from markbajerski.com gets an angel card. So that's nice. These are the special cards that I do my courses with, online courses, which is the tarot course, 10-hour tarot course. And this is a genius by the name of Carl Rorik. And his designs on the tarot cards are just incredible. Of course, we had to put sage. Well done you for putting sage. That's something that I use daily. They're all my oils. Thank you. And that was a picture when I didn't believe in having any pictures done. That was a real struggle for me because I wanted to stay in the background, but people who had readings with me came from Barcelona, and the photographer did it free of charge. That was Andre, and a beautiful lady from Barcelona came who was a makeup artist for the stars, and they both came together, and I actually have makeup on this, and you can ask them both. I rubbed the makeup on. I was like, I can't do this. And then they took some more photos without any makeup on, right? Because the makeup obviously enhances the photo, but it just didn't feel real to me. It felt fake. And this isn't me. I remember running away screaming. Okay, that's me there. Thank you for doing this. This is great. I never even thought about doing this. This is great. This is me with Moldavites on markbajerski.com. That's me in Thailand with an elephant, and the elephant's name was, I believe, Gypsy. That's me at one of the circles working alongside Gerardo and his mother, which is a shaman who works with the light, and his mother worked with the dark magic. And it was a very interesting night. That was just one of the 2 shamans I work with worldwide, which has always been fascinating. That's me with some more crystals. That's me meditating when I was doing the heart healing retreat. But now the retreats I'm doing are re-wake retreats, which is interesting. That's the same picture as the back. This is the logo, which I'm so proud of the Pure Energy Healing Academy. The academy was set up a few years ago, and we now have people from all over the world who are pure energy healing practitioners, growing and growing. There's over 1,000 of us now worldwide. That was me at one of the heart healing retreats with Bettina and Ajahn. And yeah, that's it. Really great. Thank you. Dear Mark, you are an angel. Oh, you don't really know me then. That walk into this earth. Yeah, thank you. Have a glorious birthday. Love and light. And then it says, where there is love, there is light. Gandhi. Nice. And then it's MB, and then it says, the weak can never forgive. Forgiveness is the attribute of the strong, Gandhi, which is so true. So I want to just say, I appreciate it with all my heart. I know that it's taken a lot of effort and love to go through all the photos and do this. And it's the best birthday present I had. Thank you so much. I'll treasure it and put it somewhere very safe. That's it really, guys. I wanted to do a short video to say thank you for my birthday wishes. I read through them all. I really appreciate it. Yes, I'm 18 years old, and I've got a long way to go in life, and with the help of all my friends and the strength and the love that you send, keeps me going, keeps me happy, keeps me strong. Somebody asked me a question on social media the other day, and it was a really interesting question. And the question was, you being a psychic reader and reading people's futures, do you believe that my future is set in stone, or do you believe that I can change my future? It's one of those really big questions, $1 million questions. And I suppose I'm going to have a drink of this coffee and we're going to try and tackle that now, because it's something that I may be able to help with, and may be able to help you understand a little bit more in depth, the bigger picture. Okay, something has just come to mind. That's interesting. Okay. I wrote a book once, and it was called Diary of an Accidental Psychic. It was true stories with everybody that I love and care for, even to this day. I know them all, everybody in the book. Often get trolls saying you lied, and then the person that they said was all fictitious, and then comes on social media and says, actually, that's me you're talking about. And then they go running off. This story was a really interesting story for me, because it tackles this very question of, can you change your reality? Can you change perception? Can you change future? Can you change anything in your life at any given moment? A beautiful lady came to me once who was like a lovely angel, and she sat down and she was crying. I tuned into her energy that the person she was crying over, I could feel was going through a challenging moment. When I look at challenging moments as a psychic or a healer, they are moments where we become stronger than. So the truth is, the Buddha once said, pain is inevitable, but suffering is optional, is very, very part of this very question. And I'll explain. Let's go back a little bit. My father was extremely abusive, as you all already know. Many years went by, and after the abuse of my father, I came to a point where I walked out of my father's door, got in my car with a smile on my face, and realized at that point who my father was, who I was, and more importantly, what my lesson was and how I overcome that moment of many years. I laid back in the car, in the van, because I had a white van, I used to have an auction house. I laid back and I actually remember my actions. I took my hands and banged them on the steering wheel and laughed. And that laugh was a moment where the penny had dropped. I realized that my life with my father trying to make him love me was futile. It was a point when I came to the acceptance that I could never change my father, ever, because that's what I was wanting to do. I was wanting to change my reality and my father. So the reality I wanted to change was not my reality, but my father, if you see what I mean, because he was the source of the problem of my pain. But I did change my reality at that moment, because I realized at that moment that I couldn't change him, and that I came to an acceptance that no matter what I did, and at that particular moment I bought him a brand new 3-piece suite, which he said, "I don't like this one. This is uncomfortable. I don't like it. I want my old one back." Like, oh my God, there's nothing I can do. But I laughed. I didn't cry like I used to do. I didn't get upset and, wanted the love. I realized that, hey, have you not got it yet? Your father will always be this way for you to change your reality. And at that given moment, my reality changed through the forgiveness and understanding that my father was actually my greatest test. And I was so thankful at that given moment that I'd learned that test. Most of us don't ever conquer it, because we're still in that reality of why didn't they love me? Why couldn't they be this? Why were they that? And the blame. And I'd released that for laughter and thought, that silly old fool, silly old man, he'll never change. And I meant it with all my heart, and I laughed about it with all my heart. It wasn't laughing for any other reason. That I realized that laugh was, my God, the penny had dropped. I'd realised I'd suffered so much from his abuse, and instead of just laughed about it, and most importantly, realised that I ended up the better version of my father. Never hitting my children, never being angry with them, just allowing them to be who they are and accepting them for who they are and loving them and telling them how much I adore them, how much I appreciate them, how proud I am of them. So where I'm going back to now is that question, can I change my future? Well, didn't I just change my future from having a father who was abusive to having a father who actually made me laugh? Did I not conquer that moment rather than hold on to that moment till the day I died? Did I not change my future by changing my perception and my thought, by looking at that situation in a positive way and taking the most beautiful thing away from that? That my father was my measuring stick to how beautiful I am and how happy and proud I am of being a wonderful father. And that I know inside my heart. Isn't that beautiful? So let's go back to this beautiful angel who was sat in front of me, and I could read, I could see and feel that there was a challenging moment for this man to go through. And I could see the prison bars. So I could see what he'd done was a mistake, and I could feel in his heart he had really, really realised that where he was and what he'd gone through, that he didn't want to go through this anymore. He didn't want to feel the pain and suffering. From my point of view is that maybe before he came into this world, he needed to experience that particular moment. So he needed to be in a certain place, whether that would be behind bars or in a location where he's hanging off a cliff. Doesn't matter, wherever it is, that moment where that self-realization of my father came to me where, oh my God. So I could see in the cards and my feeling about this man that he was a good man. And we all make mistakes, we all trip. So the bigger picture is, yes, he made a mistake and he shouldn't have done that. But without that mistake, he would never be where he needs to be to conquer that very feeling that we came into this world to feel and to grow from. So he's now behind bars. I turned a few more cards over and I could start to see things, and I said, it looks like he's going to be fine because he is in the acceptance and he wants to grow, and like many people behind bars continue to do the same thing and never grow from it and never learn. This person did. And I could see it, and I had a smile on my face, and all the while she was crying, I was smiling, saying, there's nothing to worry about, but you can do me a big favour. You can go and buy loads of books, spiritual books, self-help books, and tell him that each book he reads every week, if he reads it in a few days, that will knock off 1 year from the years that he will be in prison, because he had not been trialed yet. The trial had not come yet. He'd just been stuck in prison with, I believe, between 5 and 10 others who were involved in this big whatever it was. Not important. Anyway, I remember at that point having a Moldavite, just a little Moldavite, and I was holding that Moldavite. She didn't know this and she still doesn't. I remember holding this Moldavite, and what I always found myself doing is, on a night when anybody ever came for a reading or a healing, I would have them in the back of my mind. There's like a little temple in the back of my mind. It's like a room, and I place everybody in there, like people who hate me. They're the first ones I bring into the room and send love to, because I want them to be happy. Not because I want them to love me, but I want them to be happy, because if they don't have hate for somebody, then there's a chance for them to have love. If somebody comes to me and they're in physical pain and they have cancer or whatever, they're in my little temple room. This young man was in my temple room, and every day for, I think it was about 3 months or maybe longer, he would come into my little temple room and I would sit with him with the Moldavite and place my hand on his heart, and I would send him healing and give him strength. And I did that for many, many months. Anyway, one day, this beautiful angel came, and she had a big smile on her face, and out of all the people who went to trial, he was the only one who was basically set free. And the reason why is because the judge saw remorse and something within him, his heart and within his energy, that they realized that this man had served enough time and he was in remorse, and it was his first conviction, and they let him go. Everybody else served between, I think, 5 and 25 years. The moral of the story is, can we change our reality? Can we change the future? Well, taking his story, yes, he went to prison and he served some months in prison. But did he change his reality? Well, he could have done 25 years, but he was out. So there was a reality change. There was a change in his future through his acceptance and understanding and realization that created a new doorway to a new future, to a new path. So, my belief in all of this conversation is that the deeper meaning to all of this is that, like the Buddha said, pain is inevitable. So whatever we choose to go through, we will go through. But the suffering is optional. And that suffering is the change of the future to be able to see, feel, accept. And then that suffering doesn't last. So to answer your question, we cannot change the whole of our destiny if we have created something before we've come here that we need to feel and experience. But we can change the reality of it and the suffering of it and the speed of it if we embrace that suffering and that pain and look for the good, look for the positive, and always say to yourself, when you're on your knees and you're feeling that pain, why am I feeling this pain? Why has my wife just left me for somebody else? Why has my family member just passed into the spirit world? Why has my job disappeared? Why can't I get work? Why can't this? Why can't that? When you look in not the blame, but in the understanding of the challenge that you're going through, when you find the positive in that, when you try and see, wow, I now know why my mum died. My mum died to be able to help me more now in this world so she can guide me and walk by my side. Because if she was in this world now, she could never do that. She'd be in another country. But she's able to protect me and work with me now. You know, why was my dad so abusive? To help me see who I am, to become the most beautiful soul I can be. So my measuring stick was my father, so I could be like him, or I could be the stronger and find the positive and be stronger all round. Why did my wife leave me for somebody else? She left me for somebody else so I can grow and feel and then realize one day, wow, she wasn't meant for me anymore because somebody else is here who's even more beautiful. And we grow and we grow and we feel the love and say thank you for what you did, because now I'm with somebody who is my soulmate and so on. And so we always look for the positive in the times when we're on our knees. If you can master that point of your life whenever you're on your knees, to find the answer to the good and the positive and the strength of that what you chose to go through, and it's not anything negative, it is not karma, it is not bad luck, it is not curses, it's not voodoo, it's just part of the journey to experience and feel it. But how do I overcome it and become more powerful and stronger? And therefore you will grow and grow, and the suffering becomes less and less. Pain is inevitable, suffering is optional, and that is how I believe, and that is why I believe we go through these challenges, to be able to find the answers so we grow and experience them. So can we change the future? I hope that's answered your question. Things aren't that simple to be able to give you a yes or a no. Sometimes we have to look a little deeper. And I hope today this message serves you well. I'm going to give away, I feel, 5 little beautiful Moldavites today. Powerful Moldavites, okay? So all you have to do now, if you watch till the end of here, is simply say, type in the fire of Bohemia. That's my most beautiful Moldavite that I have. So the fire of Bohemia. I'll scroll down and choose 5 random people for a Moldavite. Just one quick message, guys, just to let you all know now. We've tried very hard. We've done so much work on this, and we've realized today that we are not able to send crystals anymore to India. I'm very sorry, guys. It's nothing to do with us. It's to do with the Indian bureaucracy. They are really not wanting anybody to import crystals into their country. They only want to work with their own and sell their own. So they're making it very challenging for anybody. And if you have bought from us from India, please to accept my apologies. We're doing our best to sort out. It's very difficult when it's all to do with export, import, and the customs. They really are challenging. I really am sorry about that, guys. But if you do end up buying from my website at markbajerski.com and you're from India, I would make a suggestion that your address must be another country, and then you'll have to arrange it yourself to get that crystal. So we will sell to you, but when you send your address, it must be out of India, any other country. Okay, that's it, guys. Have a most beautiful day from my heart to yours. Take care. Thank you for going to markbajerski.com and buying your genuine crystals. Thanks, guys. Take care.